So I'm gonna do, whoa, what did I close there? I can't remember what I closed. What was that? Oh, it was mouseless. Okay, I remember now. It's mouseless. Okay, so the first one we're going to take a look at is Openbox. So it's openbox.org. So it's a minimalist, highly configurable next generation window manager with extensive standard support. You see, it also works with GNOME desktop. It also works with XSD, and I said usually it's actually the way LXDE comes in. So yeah, so it's highly configurable. We're not going to do that in today's tutorial. I said we just want the very basic stuff, and just to show you that you know, if you guys don't, if you have a Raspberry Pi, we're going to be headless. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Raspberry Pi. There are other, you know, what do you call them? Internet of all things. Okay, oh, so here we go. So what was not found here? Okay, I kind of don't like this. Is it Xorg that didn't finish? Ooh, this is not good. Okay, so let me do an update. Maybe that fixes it. Update or sudo. I should put sudo. Did I have to do sudo? Yeah, I did. Sudo update and sudo upgrade and what? That is not good. That the fact that it that did not work. Okay, so we'll let this guy go. Now it is possible that in this version of oh yeah, okay, I understand why. It's because Debian, if you guys remember, I think it was literally last tutorial. Debian, what Debian does now is they build for something called ARMHF. Unfortunately, ARMHF usually, and Debian now, this is for ARM7. This Raspberry Pi Zero W is actually ARM, what do you call it? It's an ARM6, right? So the irony of all that is that HF actually used to stand for ARM5, ARM6, and ARM7. Now, and then I guess Debian must have made it 6 and 7. Now it's just 7. It just stands for 7. I don't know why they don't just put 7. Now just make things easier, because this is confusing. Because so you see, the problem is this is another reason I wanted to run Raspberry instead of plain Debian, because this one at least warns me that they don't have one for my particular my particular device. So this could be a problem. Maybe run. So I'm hoping the update and the fix missing will resolve this. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so first I will do the updates. Hopefully I don't have to reboot, but we'll see. Well, that's one good thing about Debian. You usually don't have to reboot. You can install the stuff first and reboot at once. Okay, so this is going to be a little while. So we'll see. We'll just wait for that. In the meantime, so yeah. Oh, this one, ob config. As you can see, this is Openbox. This is where you can configure your own theme options, appearance options, behavior options. This tool. Yeah. So and now we don't need this. I said all we care about is just so we can get some type of GUI. Now the reason, as I explained last 2 days, is that the reason I want this GUI is that so that I can actually show you guys some games running on this Raspberry Pi Zero W. Not terminal games, but you know, games with an actual UI. Okay, so this is Openbox. So if you see the installation guide, you see they show you obviously Debian, Ubuntu. In case you guys don't know, Ubuntu is just a derivative of Debian. That's why it have deb packages, obviously Debian. So I'm not going to compile this, especially on the Raspberry Pi. There's no need for me to do this. Wow, CentOS 5.3. Wow, I guess this hasn't been updated in a while. Yeah, wow. Because CentOS 6 and 7 end of life. Obviously, 7 had a very short life cycle, but still, the fact that they put CentOS 5.3, that's yeah, this is pretty old. All right, and then the other one is TightVNC. I believe it's cross-platform, but we'll find out if it is. Well, I mean, it's not just Linux only. So this is a TightVNC software. It's a free, lightweight, fast, and reliable remote desktop software. You can see it's open source, as you guys know. Obviously, by the way, if you don't know, Openbox is also open source. Basically, if you don't know what a remote desktop software does, it lets you access and control a computer over network. With this intuitive interface, you can interact with a remote screen as if you were sitting in front of it. You can open files, launch applications, and perform the actions on the remote desktop almost as if you were physically there. Now, that is actually true, especially in these days, because before, what would happen is you'd have to create a very, very simple monitor. All some of them would mimic the monitor, which you clearly did not want. So, for example, if you had a workstation like I do, I have a 4K monitor and I have a 1080p. If I logged in, so from a laptop, which is only 2K, I clearly, I don't want to be seeing the 4K on a 2K device, right? Because things would be too tiny and already wear spectacles here. I'd rather, be able to use the 1080p one or create a custom resolution, and you can do that today. So, I was right. So it says here SDK software, and there's more software by TightVNC authors. There's something called Mighty Viewer. It's a VNC monitoring tool for Windows. Also, it can be used as a better TightVNC viewer. So I don't need this because I use an application called Remini on Linux, and I actually like that because it supports more protocols, not just VNC. It supports what's that one that's supports SSH, supports RD. I was looking for RDP, and I think there's something else as well, which is a Windows only one. Yeah, it supports all of them. I mean those ones. There's also .NET Viewer SDK. So I don't know if Microsoft open sourced .NET. Or it was only what was the open source version of .NET? Mono, and source code and SDKs, TightVNC for Windows release. So I was right; it is cross-platform, I believe. Okay, so let's. Oh, there's also a Java viewer. Well, all those are historical. Okay. Oh yeah, so I was right. It is cross-platform. See, there's a server for, that's there's this one for Windows, Unix, and Mac OS. All right, so that's TightVNC, and they're all in the Debian repositories. So that means that they're likely in the Raspberrian repositories as well, unless Raspberrian uses its own repositories, which I hope. No, that's fine as long as they're for ARM. If they have ARM, I'm okay with it. Now I'm hoping that yeah, you see, this is the reason I don't do updates on live stream. You see, it's really slow. It's less than 20%. So this is going to take a while, but looks like it is necessary. I literally wrote something, I think like 3 days ago, and I did perform an update. And usually when you know what? Maybe I didn't. Could that be it? Maybe no, I did. I literally did just a few days ago because I wrote a new article, so I had to make sure things work. I did actually, yeah, I did do an update. I think it was like 3 days ago because I wrote an article. Yeah, I wrote next week's Raspberry Pi article like 3 days ago. So I obviously I logged in and I ran this update. So there's been some updates since. Maybe some of them are security fixes because there's so many. It's like, wow, okay. All right, while that's running, I have some other news to show you guys. So as I promised yesterday as well, if you go to my GitHub page, github.com/Ojambo, that's OJAMBO. You see I added the, if you haven't joined us for a while, I started taking whatever I have on my workstation that I haven't deleted or didn't get lost. I put it there. So for example, this medical doc extract, I never talked about this. It uses AI to extract medical documents. You guys might remember this one from last year where it's automatic speech recognition with OpenAI Whisper. I believe, yeah, that one uses Python and the OpenAI Whisper, and I really like that. I think this one uses the Tiny English. So this one, I think I did it on my old workstation. So this one runs or can run just on CPU and it'll be super fast just on the CPU. My old workstation was Intel 2600. So that was Intel i7 2600. It was integrated graphics and 16 gigs of RAM, DDR3 RAM. And what else did it have? It had the NVIDIA GTX 950 with 2 gigs of VRAM. So basically useless for any AI stuff, except for the SD 1.5 model. That one was super fast on it. And NVIDIA was still supporting the GPU. NVIDIA is actually pretty good for supporting the stuff. They're supporting for like 10 years. So that's really nice with cooldown and everything. And then I also put the chicken webcam. I've talked about the chicken webcam. So this one is actually a PHP application. Basically, what happens is the PHP server receives photos every, you can specify like every 30 seconds or whatever left, and then that displays them. So that's what the PHP is for. Otherwise, it just uses it's a progressive web app. So it asks for permission. And I explained like I'm using for that one. I was using the PHP server. Now the PHP server doesn't come with SSL certificates, so I had to use Sterno. Yeah, so that was all. I was really into progressive web apps last year, but then the problem is that the not Microsoft, Firefox doesn't support them, and Apple support is kind of iffy. They basically treat them like a bookmark, so then it makes them basically useless. Yeah. So and then yesterday, I when I was doing something else, I discovered I have this PHP two-factor authentication, so you can. And this one was using an application called QR Encode to create the QR code. So basically 1, 2, 3, all these ones have multiple videos for their component, which I did last year. So I think this one has the most. I think I did like maybe 10 videos on that. I think there's even a playlist just for that one as well. And this one, I think I did 1 or 2 only, and then this one is this one I talked about this one I probably did maybe 6 or 7 when I was talking about the different tools you can use. Yeah, so this is the one I put here. This is all from last year, by the way. Even though it says yesterday, the reason it says yesterday because I uploaded it yesterday, but it's not from yesterday. It's been a while. So yeah, so you need PHP 8 plus. You need some type of web server. Obviously, this is meant to be a remote application. Oh yeah, here we go. So if you're in Debian, you install QR Encode. I believe QR Encode is also cross-platform or auth tool. And that's it. And I'm on Fedora, so this is what I need to install. If you're Mac OS, you can use Brew to install. Brew also works on Linux, and I think for a very brief time there was a port to Windows, but that's no longer there. All right, and yeah, see, I put all the instructions here, so you can go take a look at them. Yes, I was a little bit lazy because this is going from memory. All right, so what is going on here? Enable user lingering for your user. Oh, looks like there's been a new update thing. Okay. Oh, no, I think I remember that. Okay. So what else is there? Oh, you know what? Since we're waiting for this, it's at 73%, so we still gotta wait a while. This is gonna take a little bit longer than I wanted. I thought this would be fast because I said I still want to go into town. Looks like it's clearing up. All right, so all right. Um, I think what I might try in the future is for things like this, I might pre-record them. And the only problem is that the reason I don't pre-record is because I don't have the space to keep the video for like even just a week because it takes up so much space. So maybe what I would do is maybe just edit the short version of the video, and then that way I can I can maybe slow it down really slow and show you guys it working. I think that might be a better option. Yeah, because I can upload the short version of the video and just post date it, and then I can show you guys. Yeah, I think that might be a way to go. Right. Am I getting sleepy? Oh man, it was so cold the last 3 days. I've had to use this space heater, which is really super weird. Super weird. All right, so man, this is slow. Wow, this is so slow. I know it's a lot. I should have checked how big this thing is going to be. It's so freaking slow. And all it's doing is writing the bootloader. The bootloader is actually pretty small. I'm wondering why it's taking so long. Is it the write speed of the EEPROM? Okay, looks like I'll definitely need to do a reboot. Now, luckily the reboots are not. I think they're like 30 seconds or so. So, all right. So hopefully this works. Oh man, that is. So we have 23% to go. All right, so what else can I show you? Oh yeah, let's talk about some other stuff. So yeah, since we're there, maybe we can do the end first. So I do have screenshots here where I'm installing the lightweight stack, and here configuring the X session. It's very simple, just on Openbox -session, and then you put the ampersand, so it will start. And then oh yeah, let me show you guys the application we're going to use on the desktop. It's called Remina or Remina. Yeah, we go Remina, and you just add something here, and you'll be able to connect to you see here I have RDP, VNC, RDP, RDP. So that's it. You can connect. I'll set up the connection, and I'll show you how to set it up. It has multiple protocols, so it's pretty easy to do. Oh man, this is taking forever. Could have been done by now. So you know what? This takes forever. I think what I'll do is once it's installed, I'll leave it on the system so that next time when we actually play a game, we don't have to go through all these headaches again. Wow, that is so slow. Okay, looks like it's setting up now. It's 99%. Yeah, the Debian always teases you when it hits 99%. You're like, yeah, it's gonna finish. And this could take like 10 minutes. I've seen it do that when it hits 99%. So I'm not getting too excited yet. So yeah, let's navigate this site here. So Jumbo.com. If you go to the watch menu, you can see this is the live stream right now. If you want to see other live streams, you can see, for example, tomorrow we're going to review OpenCAD. Now, unlike last time where it used the integrated graphics and froze everything, this time I'm not going to push it too much. And then we have this VK ballast, which is post processing effects for Vulkan Linux-based games. After that, we're going to audit some AI generated. No, oh, sorry, there's something else coming in before that. We're going to compare consumer GPUs to used enterprise GPUs for your use case, whether it's playing games, AI, video editing, or whatever anything else you want to do. Then we'll audit the AI C++ generated code. After that, we're going to run Luanti, which is a voxel engine. We're going to run the game, one of the games that comes, or you can download through that interface. See, remember I told you guys, I said it hits 99%, and it doesn't. You think, yeah, it's going to finish in a few seconds. No, 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 no. I know Debian. I said although I use Fedora now. Debian likes to take its sweet time when it reaches 99%. I said I've seen it take several minutes, and yeah, because it does multiple things. I don't know why it says 99%. I guess it goes by steps. It will say, okay, I have 100 steps. I've finished 98 steps, so I'm going to do the last step, and it will say 99%. So the last step could have like multiple mini steps there. Oh, the sun is already gone. Are you kidding me? What is that? Like 30 seconds of sun? No, it's cloudy. I'm beginning to think that that conspiracy about them fooling around with the weather, the chemtrails and stuff is true. Wow, that is so crazy. You know, one of the good things about living in a rural area is that there's a rare occasion there's some manure smell when I'm driving through some other farms, but around here the air quality is just amazing. I remember like in the summer when I was in Toronto, especially downtown, nosebleeds. I have never had a single nosebleed since I've been here in the summer, which is crazy, right? And I remember when I was in Toronto, every spring I would have like some nose hair sticking out because that's how muggy and air quality is here. That has never happened. It's just night and day difference. Obviously, things are not perfect because here you get more bugs, and people say, "Oh, you should leave the door open." Okay, so this is finished. So I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can install those packages again without having to reboot. Hopefully. Okay, so right, so it's working. It's 99. Oh, 90. Oh, it fetched all of them? It finished? Okay. So it looks like I did have to do an update. Okay. So that's why you should always do an update first. Okay, you can see here some of the applications we talked about, like OB config. It also installed Score. This is for taking screenshots. It's actually, oh, that's actually a pretty good app to show you guys. What else did it install? It's a bunch of Debian stuff as well. I don't know how to install this stuff. I don't think I'll be able to. This is, I think, H265 if I'm correct. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to run any of that stuff on the Raspberry Pi Zero W. Oh, if it's possible, it's going to be agonizingly slow. Okay, so looks like, okay, so that's why you should always update as well. I did an update because I said literally 3 days ago I was able to just 3 days ago, I was able to, what do you call it? I did an update, so I didn't expect more stuff. So I said there must be security fixes which were rushed. And so, okay. All right, so looks like this unpacking is also going to be a little while. Wow. Oh, this will be quick. At least I downloaded the stuff, so oh my goodness. I should have picked something else. Openbox is usually the smallest one, and you guys will be able to, it's the easiest one. There are others, but you have to goof around on and I know you guys don't like the terminal, so this is probably the easiest way to get this running. And I said it is worth it. It is pretty small, so 45 megs is nothing, even on a Raspberry Pi 0W. So this is 5%. Oh my goodness, I am going to, that's going to drive me crazy. Wow. Why is it? Oh, it's installing all these fonts. I told it not to install. Oh, it must be the calculator. I think it's a calculator that's pulling in all this weird stuff. But at least once it's finished, all those annoying packages will they'll be reusable when we what do you call it? They'll be reusable when we play a game, so we don't have to reinstall them, like all the fonts and all that stuff. So it's a little bit of a pain today, but once all this stuff is up, it will be we'll just install the game, and I mean the game. I will pre-install the game when I take screenshots for the article, so it will be much faster. It won't be like this. I never expected this to take this long. He always likes embarrassing me. Wayland? Are you kidding me? Wayland? Yikes. I remember is it Zenrama or Cinerama? That was a trick where, for example, if you had like a 2K monitor, you can fold it, especially on a laptop, fold it to think it's a 4K monitor. I found that it was a little bit buggy, but I found it to be useless because you can imagine, like, so this monitor here is 1080p, right? So if I scaled it to be 4K, it doesn't shrink the stuff down, it just blows it up 4 times. So you can imagine that I would have to like scroll to the right, I have to scroll up and all that stuff. So that was it was okay if you wanted to see it had some good use cases. For example, if you're trying to see a high resolution at its native resolution full, that was useful. But I'm saying this days scaling is so good that you don't need that. Even on the phone, scaling is pretty good. I can now see artifacts and stuff pretty easy. So this is at 20%. Already downloaded everything. I don't know why it's so freaking slow. Yeah. So calculator, that's the application. I pulled in all this media stuff. No, I don't think it was it. I think it was it might be Openbox and stuff we're not gonna use. Oh man. Okay, so we haven't even gotten to the X11 part. That's gonna be fun. That one is probably gonna be stuck at 99% for a minute or two. Okay, we're at 30% now. Wow. I can't wait until we actually play a UI, a game with a GUI, because that would be like agonizingly slow. Wow. I'm sure even right now the Raspberry Pi is probably like piping hot. Welcome? Seriously? This is why I prefer Fedora, because Fedora has something called micro DNF purposely for this. You won't pull in all these other packages, which first of all, even if they can run, they won't run well on this Raspberry Pi Zero W. Oh, there we go. Finally, one of the packages that we actually want, Openbox. You see, it didn't take too long. You guys saw that. It didn't take too long. X server actually went the common one actually went much faster than I expected. Oh, it has to unpack them. That's why it's slow. Okay. See, if I had at least two cores in Linux, it does count them as 64-bit. At least it could push something on one side. It could do parallel processing. It does, for example, one processor could be doing the unpacking, and one is doing the setup or preparing, right? So it'll be much faster. Okay, so these are smaller packages. They're going pretty fast. Okay, so now setting up the font, config. And what is Debian? No, Debian. It's a GTK3 application, X server. Really quick. The man pages. I should actually see if Debian has a way where I can stop the man pages, because I clearly don't need them. I know what I'm doing. Just save some space and go a little bit faster. Okay, UDEV, that's important. That's the one, if you plug in your USB key to detect it automatically. Points cache. Holy moly, come on. X11, yeah. Calculator is actually not too bad. libcbin 2.4 2.141-12. Oh, done. Woo! But we're not done yet. So we need to install TightVNC server, and then we can actually start configuring it. Hopefully this one doesn't pull in 100,000 packages as well. Okay, so this one says its download size is 6 megs, and then the upload is going to be 10 megs. So hopefully this doesn't take, it's at 28%. Waiting for headers. I wonder if it's just a slow connection. Yeah, this is definitely a slow connection. I don't know why. I thought it would be. Okay, let me see if I can try to figure that out. SE, what does SE stand for? Is it Southern Europe? DE, I know that's Germany. Could that be the problem why it's so slow? Is because it's set to some international over the ocean location? That might be why it's so slow. Because you see, after it finishes the unpacking and the preparing, whatever, that part is actually going pretty smoothly. I'm wondering, that could probably be why. Okay, 98%. All right. You guys are sticking with me. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's almost ready. Okay, it's done. Whew, that took like what? Forever. Forever. Okay, so once it's done, you, as a regular user, you just type tight VNC server. Okay, then it's gonna ask you for a password to access the desktop. So I'm just gonna put in, I have to use a different password. So let's see, what password can I use? Oh, ah, come on. Would you like to enter a view-only password? No. Okay, so it has created the configuration with the password. Don't forget the password. So now there are so there. If you want this to start every time you, that's what I'm looking for. If you want this to automatically start, like every time you log into your Raspberry Pi, I'm going to show that to you in a second. So you type TightVNC server space -kill and then colon 1. So you see, because remember when we ran it automatically ran, so we don't want it. So I'm going to show you guys how to auto start this. So meaning that when you log in, automatically it will run some things for you guys so you can see it. So I'm just going to use the cat command here. You can use nano or whatever. So you can see here, we're going to use X because we installed X11, the X server. So it's going to go into the home directory. Obviously, that's going to be Edward here. It's gonna be gray. We're gonna start the open box window manager. That's where we see the ampersand here, and then we're gonna run our test application automatically, which will be the calculator. So that's it. And then now, one of the problems, as you guys know, is this Raspberry Pi 0W. It's not very powerful. It only has 1 core and 512 megs of RAM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a lower resolution, just so simply because of the resources. I mean, you can run it at 1920 by 1080 or 4K, but that doesn't make sense. It's going to struggle. So as I said, this is just to show that it does work. So TightVNC server space :1. So in case you're wondering what the :1 is, that means that that's the display. It's going to display on the. Obviously, this one doesn't have anything plugged in, so you need to tell it to. It goes by display, so it's going to make. I don't want to say fake. That's not a good word. A virtual. There you go. A virtual monitor, if you will, a virtual display. So that's the one we're gonna log in, because remember, there's no monitor plugged into it, right? We're gonna use geometry, and it's gonna be 1024 by 768, and the depth is gonna be 16. So there we go. So you see, it's running the X desktop Raspberry Pi 1 here, and it says starting application specified here. Remember, right now it's running Openbox, and it's running, you see here, it's running the Openbox session, and it's running calculator. So we're good here. Now, if you guys don't know, because I hooked up the Raspberry Pi using the USB. So let me not confuse it. There's 3 ports on this Raspberry Pi 0W. There's a mini HDMI. I'm not using that one. There are 2 USB mini USB ports. Okay, the one on the far end is for a power brick. It only does power. That's all it does. So when I have this in Wi-Fi mode, like obviously when it will be running on the solar panels outside, it will obviously I'll use the power brick in that case. But this one is hooked up to my workstation using the middle USB port. So that port, you can do many things. You can plug in like a keyboard, you can plug in a mouse and other peripherals, including a camera and etc. So it's doing double duty now. It's powering it, of course, and it's also I'm also giving it the internet connection from my workstation. Why am I doing that? It's because it will get the full 450 megabits per second, whatever that is, from the workstation. Okay. Now, one of my viewers said that there was a way, there was a command you can run where you can get you can get up the 2.4 gigahertz, so you can get the full 450. I don't want to do that because it will probably overheat the Raspberry Pi 0W, and I mean in winter I could probably do that, especially when it's outside, but not now. So I'm okay with this, and I said. For speed wise, it works perfectly fine the way I have it right now. Okay, so we're almost good to go here. The other thing is you need to, if you want to see what the IP address is, you just type ifconfig, and then if we look here, you see I'm using the USB 0 here. So this is an Ethernet. There's also this one here, which is the what do you call it? The Wi-Fi. Okay, so but the problem with the Ethernet here is it doesn't give me a what do you call it? It doesn't give me an IP address, right? So I do need an IP address. So I can get the IP. I can use this IP address. This is on the Raspberry Pi. But if I click here, open a new tab, and on my workstation. On my workstation, if I type IP space NEIGH, it stands for neighbor. You see, it can also tell me that my neighbor, basically the Raspberry Pi 0W, you see, it gives me the same, this guy here. Then I can use this IP address. Okay, so this IP address is the one we're going to use on the workstation. So right now I'm on the workstation. As you guys saw, I already have Remina installed. So I also installed the VNC plugin. So I'll show you how what I did to install on my Fedora system. So this is what I did. I mean, my workstation. You see sudo dnf install Remina and Remina -plugins -VNC, and the -y here means yes, so it doesn't ask me, are you sure? Of course I'm sure. So I could run this right now. Put in my secure password. So this is on my workstation. They're already installed, so yeah, there's nothing to do because I installed them a long time ago. In fact, I actually did a tutorial on Remina inadvertently because I tested two normal applications that didn't work, and this one is one I fell back. When I got those applications working, I just they were finicky. They would work and then not work. I've been in Remina and it hasn't been a problem. So let me grab it again. Remina, here we go. So all you do is you click the plus button here, and then you can do a quick connect. The name. So I'm just going to say Raspberry Pi. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing this guys to you. Raspberry Pi 0W. Okay, the group, who cares? Now it says protocol, execute command. So if we go here, you see there's RDP, there's SFTP, there's SSH, there's local terminal, there's VNC listener. So we're going to choose the VNC plugin. Okay, then it says server. You see here it says you need to put the port. So I'm going to use the default port, and It just says you can just put the server, or you can put the server and the port. So I'm just going to put the server because I believe it's the default one. It's 192.168.1.126. I didn't change the port number, so that's fine. There's no repeater. What is the username? That's a good question. Oh, I think this is I don't think there's a username, it's just a password. So I think I can put the password here. What is my password again? Does it show the password? Okay, it doesn't. Good. Good boy. There was no user. I don't know if I have to this because this is a generic one, I might have to put in a user here, but the user is not used at all. The color depth, I don't want to use true color or anything like that. If you guys remember, we chose 16. So I'll go back to 16 here. Quality is good. I'm actually gonna go to medium, simply because I don't want the Raspberry Pi to be doing too much. So that's why I chose medium. Now, if your Raspberry Pi is more powerful, obviously choose good. So I'm going to leave it at medium for now. And yeah, so I might have to pick the port number here. I'm hoping it picks the default port number. Usually you can put 1 or 5. It's 5901 is the default VNC port number. So that should work. Medium keyboard mapping. Okay, so that everything is fine. Let me see, save and connect. Unable to connect. Not a big surprise. Okay, so let me close this. Let's go here. And so what's the VNC? VNC, yeah. Oops. Oh, I didn't double click it. I think I right click. Yeah, right click and go to edit. So it's 5091. I'm going to put a name in here. I just put my name, Edward. I'm wondering if I have to put, yes, this is one of those things where, so let me hit save and connect. Yeah, there we go, it works. Okay, so you need to put a name, any name. No, I put the name I used to log in, which is Edward, and you can see the calculator is working. So it worked. Ha! I'm so happy. It worked. So the reason I'm happy it worked, you see it running, this is the calculator. You can make this bigger. There we go. Remember, it was, what did we choose? We chose, what size did we choose? We chose 1024 by 768. So this is a 1920 by 1080. So yeah, there we go. So this is the calculator, and this is running on the Raspberry Pi. So it does work, of course. The calculator can say 9 times 9, that should be 81. Yeah, so it works. The calculator works. Now, there's no other GUI application. No, there's Xterm. So with Openbox, you right click, and you see there's a terminal editor. There's no web browser, and I'm not going to install a web browser. But we have this ob config. You can see it failed to execute no such directory. Okay, I thought it installed them. Okay, looks like it did not. And then they see there's no application. There's only one application. Oh, there's Python. See, there's Xterm, and there's Vim, obviously, and then there's Calculator. Calculator is the only GUI that we install. So there's Xterm. So you can also run. Yeah, Xterm is very basic. Usually people install something like LX terminal or something, and that's very, 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 very basic. But you see here. So the reason I wanted to install this is because, as I said before, is that if you don't want to touch the if you don't want to go on the command line like I did, you set this up, it will run automatically when you run your Raspberry Pi Zero W. And for example, if this was a game, you just technically this is a GUI, and so is this. Okay, but if I just showed you guys Xterm, you guys will be saying, oh, that's a terminal. That's true. So we have a proper GUI here, and you remember all the fonts and everything were installed, and you see we do have a menu here. So this is running on the Raspberry Pi. And to prove to you it's a Raspberry Pi, you see right here, it actually says Raspberry Pi. And you can for example, type ls. You can see it's a Raspberry Pi. Now you can install, you guys remember I have this llama 2.ce, PicoClaw, and I can't even remember what this other stuff was there for. Streaming and test file and all that stuff. So you can see this is running on the Raspberry Pi. So we're able to use a remote desktop on our Raspberry Pi. And this is medium. You know what? I'm actually going to close this down. I'm going to leave this one open. No, I'll close this down as well. You can also log out, but I'm not going to do that here. What I'm going to do is, how do I close this? I haven't used this in a while. Toggle full screen, preferences, tools, take screenshots. Where's the one to, oh, you can reconnect, disconnect. So I'm going to disconnect here. And then we'll go back to our Raspberry Pi. So the default code is 5901. So normally you want to change that port, but I said this is local, who cares? Right click, I'm going to edit this. If you guys remember, I used 16 colors here, and the quality was medium. Now that worked extremely well. So you can go to poor. I'm going to go to good, or I'm going to go to good and hit save and connect. Ooh, that's weird. Where? Oh no, because okay. Oh, because I closed the applications. Okay, so now let's go back to. Ooh, that's a little bit slow. Ah, so, wow, that is a little bit slower. Oh wow, that is slow. Okay, so I was right to go to medium. But yeah, the quality is definitely. Oh wow, that I can. You guys, I can feel the lag there. You can see. Wow, wow. Okay, so medium seems to be. You know what? I want to see what. What is it? What do you do? Disconnect? Disconnect? Disconnect. Okay. I wonder. I wonder what the poorest quality is gonna do. Let's run. Let's run the poorest quality. Poor fastest. Let's see what that one does. Oh, that was fast. Okay, so let's, oh yeah, much smoother, much smoother. It's like, it's actually pretty fast. Okay. I don't see a difference. I guess when you're playing a game, it might be better. I don't really see a difference, honestly. Still dropping frames, which is normal. Let me open up another application, maybe. That seems to, oh, it seems to be not, I don't see any difference there, honestly. Okay, okay, this is, oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Okay, so I think I'll leave it at medium. Medium seems to be the best one. I'll leave this one open. Yeah, so I'm going to edit this and I'll change this to medium. Medium seems to be pretty good. So I'll leave it at medium and save and connect. Yeah, so the terminal is still there. And that's a little. Let's try that again. System, no, the utilities. Am I crazy? Medium seems to be pretty fast. Isn't that weird? Like poor quality was actually slower than. Isn't that funny? Like poor quality is actually slower than good quality. What was the other one? Best quality? Whatever. You guys can, depending on obviously the resources. So medium for me seems to be pretty good. And I just literally guessed that, so I'm pretty happy with that. So one of the good things, whatever, in Openbox, if you roll up your mouse, it will automatically. I kind of like that feature as well. Sometimes you don't want to minimize stuff, so you can do that as well. So it does work. All right, looks like they lost the color. Oh, it was because after. Oh, it's what's the what's on focus. So we can end here. I'm very happy this worked. I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't sure it would work, but especially with all the issues we had, but I'm very, very, very pleased that it did work. Finally something goes right. So now the reason I wanted to do this, as I said before, is so that we'll be able to play games and things like that on the Raspberry Pi without having to go to the terminal. Now, just so you guys understand, is there are other type of protocols you can use like RDP and others, SSH, etc. But this one is very, very basic, and it's fine for your local network, especially like where I am. I am like probably what, like a kilometer, whatever you call it, half a mile, whatever you want to do it for my neighbors, no, whatever, across the street, and even the guy who's gonna, the grandson is gonna be, who's actually my neighbor now. Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is that nobody's going to be snooping on my network, right? So, that's even with a long range thing, nobody's going to be snooping. What I'm saying is where you guys are, especially if you're in an apartment, whatever, I would not use VNC. At least change the port number. Make sure you have, when you use it, it's fine. Then turn it off. There are other things you can also do to mitigate the issues as well. So if you guys want me to go into that, I'll be happy to. I'm really happy with this. So now we will be able to run applications. Obviously, we're not going to run something like say Blender, right? Or like Nextcloud, or you guys get the point. We're going to be running like Comfy UI or something like that on this guy. But I'm saying that yeah, we're able to get things as well. And I did a tutorial on Remina, but you can do copy pasting as well. That's one of the actual things. Let me actually open up Guinea here just to prove to you guys that you can copy paste stuff. Not Guinea open already? Doesn't look like it is. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Guinea. So let me go here and I'll say test. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Test is done. Let me pick a number. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'll pick this. Let me actually make this smaller. So this is on my workstation. Make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to put this always on top. Okay, here we go. So this is on my workstation. So I'm going to copy the number 1, 2, 3. Control C. And in here, Control V. Like that. Oh, I might have to turn it on. Oh, I got confused. There's also RDP. Maybe VNC doesn't do that. Yeah, sometimes I get confused with this. I know you can't copy in X terms, so I don't even bother there. Oh, you know what? I can actually shut it down from here. I don't have to go to the terminal. Oh yeah, let me do that. So let me close this. I'll show you guys how to. Where's the settings? Oh, you can also change this here. I didn't realize you could also change it here as well. Is there another settings I can do? What is this one? Tools, refresh, keystrokes. What's this guy here? Minimal, no. Keyboard, grab all keyboard events. There used to be an option where I think maybe it's an RDP, where it will allow you to copy paste and all that stuff. So anyways, doesn't matter. So open up the terminal. Where's the terminal? Xterm, that's fine. And then I can shut down here. So I just do sudo DNF, no DNF, sudo shut down now. I'll show you the command line, and so you guys can see the command line as well. I'll put the command, oops. So you guys are going to see what happens here. So normally I go here in the Edward at Raspberry Pi and I type sudo shutdown. Now you can create shortcuts and whatever, but so now we can just do it here. And you see it closed down here. You see it's a connection to Raspberry Pi .local closed by remote host. connection to Raspberry Pi.local close. So it's closed, and you see the VNC timed out. So we don't even don't need to save that. And that's it for Remini. So there we go. So I showed you guys, this is actually a pretty nice tutorial, right? So you guys now know how to connect to your Raspberry Pi or any IoT type device. It could be a phone, anything like that. You can have a very lightweight UI, GUI, and you'll be able to run other things as well. So your scripts, all that stuff, them as you saw there. Very pretty simple. All right. So I said I'm gonna leave. You see, I've logged out of the Raspberry Pi. In fact, it's actually wow. It's very lightly warm, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna unplug it. You see it now. I just unplug it. There we go. So I can leave it there. It's pretty fast. So let's finish this up. This took a little bit longer than I like, but there's a lot of information. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed it as much as I did. So I don't need this terminals. I can actually close this, just exit, exit. Okay, so let's go, where are we here? The lean architecture connects directly to your previous details and headless server optimization. It represents a major breakthrough in edge computing efficiency for limited hardware. You can elevate your technical execution with these architectural blueprints and expert guides. Use these resources to scale your home lab into a professional production environment. So I do have books. They're available on Amazon. You can search for Edward Jumbo. The links are in the description. If you're a DIYer, I do have woodworking projects and plans for you on jumboshop.com. There's 3 categories: backyard structure, small living, and woodworking plans. For example, the latest under the wood backyard structures is this freestanding 8x8 backyard office pod. And then there's this what do you call it? This oh, sorry, this. Wait, did I mess this up? This doesn't make any sense. Litter box hideaway cabinet, and this hot tub surround, and then there's yeah. So there's 24 at the end of this week. There will be 25 in each of these categories. Small living. We have the latest one is this flood-proof micro cabin. And then there's also the modular pod. There's this Scandinavian sauna and guest suite. And then there's this 150 square foot off-grid sanctuary. And then under woodworking plans, there's this nightstand with drawers. That's the latest one. Time of this recording is a raised garden bed with integrated cold frame. Is a Murphy folding workbench, and then a tapered sofa console with outlets. And I said this at the end of this week, there will be 25 items in each of this category. That means that there will be 75 total plans. So we go to any of them. For example, if I go to this one, if I scroll down just a little bit, oh, I guess it takes a while. Why does it do that to me? There we go. You see this you can download the blueprints. I put them at the top and also right at the bottom of the article. You can get the PDF. You can get the PDF version. So just the plans, or you can read the article and follow along as well. So that's up to you. Multiple options. That's ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. I offer 2 types of services. I offer tutorials. So, for example, if you want to learn about Linux and things like this, I love this, and I love programming as well. So, if you want to learn, we can do an online tutorial, one-on-one. Or, for example, if you're working on a project and you just need a little bit of extra help, or you need some guidance, that's where the tutorials come in, right? You're free to bring your homework. I don't do people's homework, but I'm saying is that if you have questioned your homework, I can help you with that as well. That's the tutorials. Now, if you want me to do this, if you want me to actually do the project, not homework, for example, custom apps or other things, you go to jamboservices.com/contact. And again, it could be AI, automation, integration, e-commerce. E-commerce could be PCI compliance. Integration could be payment processors like PayPal, Stripe, Square Payments. It could be your local bank. It could be some credit union. It could be logistics, shipping. It could be chat, Canada Post. What's the other one? USPS or others. I can integrate those for you as well. I've done that several times. That's my expertise. That's at ojamoservices.com/contact, where you can get a free, no obligation quote. Or, for example, maybe you want a mobile app, a desktop app, a web app, or a website, or maybe your website's been compromised. You need somebody to go and clean the things up quickly and prevent that from happening again. I'm your guy as well. Or maybe you're migrating. You're going for, I've helped several clients move from different platforms and programming language. For example, one had a website. It was a what do you call it? It was based on like I think the first version of .NET or C#, very 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 old site, and even the database was super old. So I was able to migrate them over to WordPress, and then I installed what do you call it? WooCommerce, and then they had a specific need where they wanted to sell gift cards. So, gift cards are pretty easy. You can either maybe find a plugin or create your own plugin, but their gift cards were different. Okay. So the way their gift card worked was it was a digital gift card, but it was specific to a location. Okay. So no plugin does that. You got my point? So I had to come up with a way to make it that, for example, I think they had like 4 or 5 locations. So it had to be specific to that location. And not only that, the stuff from the old site, because some people had already bought those, what do you call them, the gift card. So those also had to work. So I had to basically get the old information, put it there as well. Yeah, so that was it was an interesting project, and I was able to get it done. So that's what I'm saying. This is the type of stuff I do, and I love doing as well. So I'm saying it doesn't have to be as complex as that. Another site is which I still maintain to this day, is a client had a Flash website, and I was able to migrate them over to HTML5, and it's actually way better. Okay, it had the same functionality and everything. So that was actually that was actually one of my most proud projects, and I'm pretty happy with that one. And another one was a client had a website running PHP 4. So I migrated them over time, obviously. I think 7.3, then 8, and then the server technicians messed up during the last or second last migration, where I told them because they were using MySQL 5.7, so they wanted to upgrade them. So I prepared for this way in time because I use Fedora especially. So Fedora, I had one of the latest versions of MariaDB. So I told them, oh yeah, the site works perfectly fine with this MariaDB. Everything's been tested, but the server tech actually set it to went to MySQL 8. So a lot of stuff broke, and the documentation, everything I'd already said, it's always MariaDB, whatever it was at that time. So now there was panic mode because they were losing business, things were not working, breaking. So I had to, very quickly come up with a solution to get to get MySQL 8.0 working. And the server, whatever, the hosting company is the one that paid for that. But I said I'm fair. I think it took me maybe 2-3 hours to resolve those issues. So I said I could have said, oh, it's going to take me 20, 30 hours or 100 hours. No, of course, I resolved the issue. Next is even those server technicians, every time they do an upgrade, they always ask for my help because obviously I know the website pretty well. I've maintained it and for a while, and I always give them the performance tweaks they can put there as well. So I'm pretty versed in that type of stuff. If you're interested, I can help you as well. So that's another reason I also have a mechanical disk, because my thinking is, if I can get a website or an app working really, really fast on a mechanical disk, when it goes to a server, whether it's a shared server or a VPS or a dedicated server, it's going to be way faster. At least it's not going to slow down. So that's my thinking as well. That's why I do that. So yeah, you can contact me at ojamboservices.com to get a free no obligation quote. All right, and then what else here? Yeah, so I do have some other recommended resources. My latest book is called The Solvent Business. This is all about containers like Podman containers, Podman desktop, and the examples such as Nextcloud and Uptime Kuma. So you can pick that up right now on Amazon. The link's also in the description on my bookshop page. Before that, I had the Recession Business Blueprint. We're in a recession right now. It's the best time to start a business. I've said this several times. Economy goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Right now, we're basically at the bottom part, right at the bottom, rock bottom. So if you notice, when I said it goes up, down, you notice one weird thing? The down cycle is U-shaped, right? But when it goes up, that's great for everybody. But then you see it basically peaks and then starts going back down again. You see my point? It's not like it never goes, the economy never goes up and stays for a while before it starts going down. It basically like, it's cone shaped, right? Sharp. What I'm saying that it doesn't stay up for very long. It almost immediately starts going back down. But the down part is a U-shape, meaning that it's gonna go down very steeply, and then it's gonna very slowly go up again. So that's what I'm saying. The best time to start business, IRS is about 50% down there. Now that's the recession. Don't believe that nonsense. Are just two economic cycles, 2 quarters. No, you can tell a recession when people are begging. People are more beggars. I'm trying to say more. When there's a job opening for literally anything, and how many people show up, or 1,000 people show up, that's a recession, right? I'm saying you can see it. Don't believe the nonsense people tell you. I mean, that's the official definition. What I'm saying is that don't believe your lying eyes, right? So that's a recession business blueprint. So whether you're starting a service-based business, a goods-based business, pick up the recession business blueprint. That's also on Amazon. And I also have the algorithmic serpent. If you're into psychological thrillers, it's at Novelette. And to make it easy for you guys, I have a menu here called books. All the business books are in this one. The coding books are going to be here. So what I mean by coding, for example, the Mastering Blender Python API, that's under coding books, and Novelette will be here. Then I think I'm going to add another category. Yeah, because it doesn't quite fit. The next book I'm working on, it's for developers, but it doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit neatly in the coding part, and it's created another novelette. It's kind of more of a business book, so it's kind of, but it doesn't really fit neatly in one of each other. So I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna call it lifestyle, and yeah. So those are the three I'm gonna be concentrating on. Just a lot business books, coding books, and novelettes. The reason I like coding, so I'm not gonna give that up. All right, so what else is here? Here's my bio. If you don't know about me, I'm a software engineer. I'm also an author. My bookshop page is on Amazon. And by the way, all my books, they do come in ebook form. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can actually read them for free or get them for free. Take advantage of that. If you need support, ojamboservices.com for ways you can benefit from my expertise. If you're DIY, the free plans on ojamboshop.com for backyard structure, small living, and woodworking. Leave a comment. You can leave it here in the article or in any of the platforms live stream to. Best way to contact me, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboshop.com/contact, ojamboservices.com/contact. And you can follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and Discord.